So let's start at the beginning. This 5 is 5 of Pentacles. This is a bit of disappointment. So it does look like something from the past has kind of hit you pretty deeply, and it keeps revisiting. It does look like it's something that has happened way in the past, and what keeps coming to mind is unrequited love, unrequited love. So you may have been taken or are taken, the other person may have been taken, but it does feel like some disappointment around the heart space. This isn't for all of you Scorps, but there is some disappointment that has happened from the past that is kind of brought to the surface right now. What crosses you is the 6 of Wands. This is new beginnings. So this does feel like you're casting off this this cloak is lighting up for me. It does feel like you're casting off some of this stuff here that's kind of held you back, maybe held your heart at bay, or maybe you've been waiting. But it does feel like there's a resolution that you have decided, the heck with it, I'm going to go on. I'm not waiting around anymore. I'm not waiting for any answers. I'm kind of tired of this. So it does feel like you are coming more and more into balance and coming into your own power and heralding your gifts and your skills. But it does look like you were kind of in a state of, I don't want to call it limbo, waiting, kind of sussing things out to see how they would pan out. But it does look like you've decided to take the reins, literally taking the reins, and you're off to the races. You are ready to start living your life and no longer waiting around for others to make their minds up about something. And it does feel like you weren't being honored for your full gifts and your heart and everything. You were kind of being either taken for granted or kind of in the back seat. And that's not you, Scorpio. You're a front seat kind of person. All right, so let's see what is above you. The 10 of Wands, which is kind of the great burden. This is the card of great burden, but it is upside down. It is also a 10, so it does feel like you have finally released yourself, allowed yourself to move on from this situation that's kind of lived in your heart and in your head for probably a little too long. But it does look like, I don't know what the culmination was, but feels like all of a sudden you have just kind of flipped things, released yourself from this heart burden and this kind of a place of not knowing, waiting around for others. You have a lot of things to do and you are needed out in the world, Scorpio. So it's good that you've gone through your challenges. It does feel like you have put some burdens down. Things have shifted so you can be more of a focus, and you have allowed yourself to kind of put this unrequited frustration, while we call it, you put it to bed. It is no longer in the forefront of your mind, and you're no longer waiting. There's another 5 on the other side in the past position. This is the 5 of Wands. This can be a little tumultuous. It usually is when other weirdnesses are happening around you that affect you, that it's not really something that you initiated or are participating in, but this could be other people's decisions kind of wreaking havoc on your life. You know, this could be the ex decided you can't have those weekends with the kids, something like that. It does feel like somebody else's decision making has kind of stood in the way of your progress. It's really doesn't really have anything to do with you, but it affects you greatly. So it does feel like some communication, some boundaries are needed if they haven't already happened. This is in the past position, so it does feel like some communication is needed, and to back out of this tumultuous stuff that really doesn't belong to you. Be an observer rather than a participant. But it does kind of sweep you up. It does feel like either your partner, your kids, your ex, somebody makes decisions. Could be your boss has made a decision for you and kind of landed this big project on your desk that you didn't need. So it does look like something that's a little bit uncomfortable that somebody else created for you. Lucky you. All right. Eight of Cups. This is the abundant card. This can be, you know, the walking away from abundance, walking away from what is comfortable and what you've known all along, and trying something new, going into the unknown. It's very scary, but it does feel like you're taking a leap of faith, and all the expectations, all the things that these were supposed to bring didn't really bring that happiness, didn't really bring that success to you. So it does feel like you're simplifying your life, and you're kind of walking away from things that are that are familiar, that you've known all your life pretty much, and trying something new. This could be moving to a new place, taking classes to increase your skill set. This could be trying a new job, applying for a new job, but it does look like you're taking a leap of faith. And this could be, you know, you might be ready to start dating again, or dating your partner and trying something different. You could be putting an ad in on the web for a date or something, but it does feel like you're taking a leap of faith and you're trying something new. So next is the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is kind of a little bit of disappointment. This does feel like it has something to do with a love from the past. It does feel like you're kind of putting these feelings to bed, that you're taking one last look at them before you really let go. Either you're ready to welcome love into your life or to love your current partner differently, but you are ready and able to try love a different way, and to try, it could even be loving your children, loving your family, loving your friends. It could be that, you know, you were codependent, or you were distant. So it does feel like you are making some changes in your interpersonal communication and how you love and how you're available when you are in love. So these cups are really lighting up for me as in feelings, but it does feel like you were really disappointed in the past. It does feel like a love kind of flew off here. They may have been connected to somebody else and not available, but it does look like you are no longer waiting around for that, you're going to be your highest creative self, and they can catch up if they are ready. But it does look like a heart space from the past has changed the way that you love. Okay, the culmin, or the basis of all this is the King of Wands, and kings are very noble creatures. This can stand for a person. If it is a person, Wands are fire, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. This feels like someone may be coming back into your life. That's funny, I was going to say into your life, but back kind of jumped out of my mouth. So this does feel like someone you may have known from the past. And Wands, you know, they hold great status. They're usually very influential, honest, fair-minded. It can also mean good fortune. And this is right across from trying new things. So it does feel like you will be more successful trying things a little bit differently than you have in the past. But this does feel like someone from the past may be knocking on your door and trying to reconnect. I don't see the love stuff. It doesn't mean it isn't an ex-lover or a possible future lover, but it does feel like someone in the friend arena that you have known. There's someone of great integrity, and it does feel like he or she is has positive, fair mind. So it does feel like also that is a reminder to be fair-minded while dealing with new situations, since you are learning to love differently. So be very fair-minded to yourself and others. The Eight of Swords is here. This is definitely the trapped card. Kind of time to toss off those blindfolds. Take a look at what you're really dealing with. No avoidance. This doesn't feel like money. This feels like situations. This feels like a prior relationship, more on the friendship level. So you may be open and willing to heal a relationship that you let go from the past, but it does feel like you're feeling a little trapped in where you are. So take a look at what's really going on and use your words with love and kindness. But you may be reaching out to somebody else that you cut off in the past, is what I am feeling. But it feels like it did not end well. This is feeling like a friendship. This also feels like you are kind of systematically releasing friendships that no longer work for you or no longer are reciprocal. They no longer are serving. You know, if you've got that one friend that calls all the time, always needs a jump on their car, always needs something, when you see their number come up, you kind of cringe because you know it's nothing reciprocal. It's only a need that they need fulfilled by you. So it does feel like you have been releasing some of those relationships that are not reciprocal. I wouldn't say that they're toxic necessarily, but they are definitely not reciprocal. They're very one-sided. And it does feel over the last year, maybe even 2 years, you have been releasing those relationships, kind of divorcing yourself from relationships and friendships that are no longer growing and nurturing for you. So the next one here is the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is kind of looking back, taking one more look at the things you want to release before you totally let go. You had the Ten of Wands here too. So this is kind of a little bit of a look back here to make sure that everything is in order. All the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. But it does look like you're really starting to take a step into a whole different realm, a whole different realm of possibilities. New job, you know, new house, new lover. It looks like you're really taking into account all the things that you've wanted to do, that you've kind of stifled yourself. And it does look like you held yourself back because of either children or relationships or jobs or aging parents. But it does look like all these external reasons not to live your highest dreams. So that's no longer happening. Congratulations, Scorpio. Time to live your wildest dreams. I do see a lot of orange in here, so it looks like you've really healed yourself. You have decided to move forward no matter what. You know, time is fleeting. You don't want to waste any more precious time kind of seated in the past. You really want to go into the future with a clean slate, and that's what it feels like. It's kind of clean slate time. Take a one last look before you leap into new beginnings, basically. New beginnings. The Seven of Swords is here. This can be just a fear card. It can also mean, you know, fear of theft, really feeling insecure. It does look like your insecurities stand in your way of your greatness. Don't let that stand in the way. You know, you can try something new and still be scared to do it. Whether it works or not, you'll never know unless you take that leap of faith. So it does look like some of your fears are coming up with this new space. The unknown is always really kind of scary. But you guys are real brave. So use your intuition, use your bravado, jump through those hoops and see what it looks like on the other side. Do not be afraid of, you know, theft, bodily harm. It just feels like all those little fears are coming up that are kind of the last vestige that you need to let go before you jump into your greatness. And it does look like it's being kicked up right now. The Four of Pentacles is kind of a hiding card. It's when you're intrinsic, and this may be right before you leap into your greatness. You've been doing a lot of thinking over the last couple of months, especially in winter time on the Western Hemisphere. So make sure that you get a little busier, start accepting some of those invitations. It does look like you have the propensity to hibernate. So be aware of that habit that you have. It's not necessarily bad, but it does keep you or delay some of those things that you really want to do. So get out of your own way, Scorpio. All right, the Five of Cups. This is kind of the crying over spilt milk. This is also the disappointment. This is like one last look at all these things that you're just about to change if you haven't already changed them. So this is kind of a little look-see into the past before you take that big leap of faith. And it does feel like coming up in the next month or so, you will be making a huge change. You know, whether it's love, job, house, retirement, you know, selling the house and moving to Europe, something like that. But it does feel big and it feels sweeping and it feels like something that you've always wanted to do, but you've always taken other people's feelings into account and maybe not had the finances to do it because you were busy raising kids. So it does feel like this is one last look at all that and you'll be good to go. That is your general reading, Scorpio. So it does look like you are thinking a lot and starting to move some of this energy. So this is your general reading. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to throw a couple of these the ethereal visionary cards. They're one-word cards. And let's see what we got. Take a leap. There we go. You go first. The universe will catch you. So it's that leap of faith. Don't sit in the wondering too long. It's time to take that leap of faith. Okay, an inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. You have all the answers you need inside of you, Scorpio. You are one of the most intuitive, psychic signs in the world. So please use it and trust yourself a lot more.